when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Hello and welcome to Hockey Night in Australia. Very special episode here. We have with us Nathan Walker, in addition to Sean O'Connor and Tristan Metcalf. I am Gordon Goodenough, and we are here to break down all the action from the weekend and also chat some hockey with Nathan. You can find us on podcast form on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching live, send us through a comment, say hello, say good day. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, I believe, for today. So come say good day. But in the meantime, welcome, Nathan. You're fresh off a big weekend as well.
Yeah, no, cheers. Thanks for having me. Yeah, no, just had a little golf trip up the north of Australia. So, yeah, nice to get away from training and everything for a bit and work on the golf game for a couple of days.
And Tristan, you're in a friendlier time zone at the moment. Instead of Cook Islands, you're in Suva.
Yeah, over in Fiji for the week, so it's a little bit friendly. I can jump in here and have a chat to you guys. Looking forward to it.
And Sean, you're straight from the Phillips ice skating and swimming centre in Canberra, by the looks of things.
Where it is freezing cold and the complete opposite to North Queensland and Fiji, I am sure.
Yeah. So we do have some love in the chat. Phil Taylor, evening all. Welcome, Nathan. Brody Petrus, good evening to you. Jessica Calder, evening as well. Kraus Sports Photography, Willie Kraus and Angenique Kraus, of course, providing excellent photos. Good evening, all you legends. Hi, Mark Hopwood. Paul Finesse, good evening. Hello to Nathan as well. His excellent photos from Canberra. Julie Sugden from the Lightning. Evening, everyone. And Anthony Russell, morning all. Greetings from the other side over in the UK. Bunkered down in the office. And William Jordan Hayes, a fixture at the scorer's bench at Macquarie Ice Rink. Hello to you as well. So let's get into it. We have a producer, Abby Richards, who's in the background. He doesn't want to show her face, but is operating the strings behind the scenes. So we do have the weekend's results, which will pop up here. So we'll just take you through them. Brisbane Lightning 1-0 win over the Central Coast Rhinos. Bachu Gendanov with the goal in the third period. Sydney Ice Dogs 5-2 over the Adelaide Adrenaline. The Melbourne Ice stopped the skid. I think a 6-game skid, and won 5-1 over the Perth Thunder. The Canberra Brave defeated the Bears at Macquarie 6-4 in a big contest. And then Sunday, OT thriller. The Mustangs needed to win in regulation, were 4-0 down, came back, tied it up, and couldn't get it done in regulation. OT 5-4. The North Stars shut out the Rhinos again for the second time in the weekend, 3-0. And the Ice Dogs with another good victory, sweeping the weekend with a 4-1 win over the Brisbane Lightning. Sean, which result kind of caught your eye last weekend?
I mean, a bit of bias here, but of course the Brave beating the Bears was a massive game. Brave continuing their fine form, league leaders stumbling a bit once more, but it was a good game to watch. But I was also very impressed by the Mustangs' comeback. You know, I didn't expect them to come back like that against the Thunder. I know they needed the regulation win, but even to get the OT win was still pretty good for them to do that. So it's a good confidence boost. But we've had our 2 shutouts this weekend as well. Like, that doesn't happen very often in this league. And another 1-0 game. That's the second time this season.
Yeah. And Nathan, your Ice Dogs got up 2 games across the weekend.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's always good to see the doggies get up. Obviously, making that trip out to Adelaide in the morning and then playing them in the afternoon is not an easy task. So it's good to see them get that, and then obviously come back and play the Brisbane team at home and win that one as well. So there's a couple big games for them. Then obviously that Brave and Bears game would have been a big one as well. And then being down 4-0 and then coming back to win in OTs. A good looking result for those Mustangs too.
And Tristan,
That's
Yep.
pretty rough travel weekend for the Dogs, and for them to come out with 6 points. And look, I know they can't qualify for finals, but that's got to be great for the club within it, just to get some points on the board and get a little bit of momentum going. Especially, that's a really brutal weekend to have to go to Adelaide Saturday morning, play Saturday afternoon, and I don't know if they flew back Saturday night or Sunday morning, but yeah, geez, that's a rough turnaround.
Yeah, it doesn't
and they
seem
produced one of their best weekends because of it. It's
make
brilliant.
much sense, does it? Flying Adelaide for a game and then coming all the way back to Sydney for a game.
Yeah, the scheduling is insane.
Do you remember that weekend last year where the Melbourne Ice played a derby on the Friday, flew to Adelaide on the Saturday, and then came back to Melbourne to host another team on the Sunday?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That's begging for injuries with all that travel, and that's not ideal. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But that probably could have been set up a little bit better, I think, in some situations.
Oh, definitely.
We've got
Even
Jason
there we
Chisel
go.
Quizler, Sunday lunchtime flight home for them. So that's because they were delayed as well. They were delayed coming out of Adelaide, so they were because I was on the commentary and when I did the sound check, they said, "Oh, we might have to delay the game. They might have to delay the game because the Ice Dogs only just arrived at the rink at like just after 4 or something." So
it's not often you have to do that for the home
Straight
team.
into the wet gear.
But take us through the standings, Sean. What have we got in the standings?
All right, so first we'll start off with the Rurik standings. So no changes this week, just like it has been for quite a while now. But the Lightning are really taking hold of this third and final position for the finals. Adelaide, they had a win, but they're not. They just haven't been able to close the gap as much as they would have wanted to. But the Brave are also now closing in on the North Stars for top spot, so it's really coming into play. Who will get that Friday off and only have to play a potential 2 days in finals as opposed to 3 days in a row? I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it is. And look, the North Stars are obviously in the box seat there, but that game against the Mustangs, their last game, will be a really interesting one. I think Newcastle will be pretty happy that the Mustangs are sort of out of it now. They've got a little bit less to play for, but
that's
could be
right.
a real banana peel.
Yeah.
The Adrenaline technically do have their own fate in their hands. If they win out, the Lightning can't catch them, but that's a big if because they've got 2 games at Boondall and then 2 games at where Sean O'Connor is broadcasting live from. So it's a tough ask for any team, those 4 games.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate for the Rhinos on the weekend as well that they didn't manage to score a single goal because they've kind of now drifted back out of that contention. They're kind of out now. So it's a bit of a sad way to end, but hopefully they can pull back and get at least another victory before the end of the season.
Yep. And let's head to the Hellier conference, Sean.
So yes, the Hell Yeah conference. So this was the conference that had everything happen on the weekend, considering no actual changes to the conference standings. However, both the Ice and Thunder secured final spots. So the Hell Yeah conference is now settled as far as who's going to finals. There's a question about just who finishes second and third and gets that conference switch over for first weekend of finals.
And we did receive from the league, which we'll post up. We didn't get all the competition regs, but we got the tiebreaker. And I tell you what, you never receive so much information as you do when you post something saying that a team has clinched the H. Newman Reid Trophy when they actually haven't. So shout out to everyone for providing corrections on that. But it's quite a process, and it's we'll publish it so that everyone can have access to it. So they can yell at us with facts, which is handy. Any surprises in this conference for? I know, Tristan, you wrote an article about the form teams of the league.
Yeah, the interesting pick out of that, at least for me, was that especially this conference, both the Ice and the Thunder haven't had the best run over the last 10 games. So the Ice have been, I think, third worst record in the league over the last 10 games. They've really been sliding. Look, obviously, they've missed Solo and Aonso, the two import defensemen, and that's put a lot of pressure on the back end. But the Mustangs and the Ice Dogs have been pretty good over the last little bit. Unfortunately for them, they left their run a bit late.
Yeah, and the Mustangs being so good while the Thunder and Ice have been slipping has actually kept it a bit more alive for longer than it otherwise could have been. So it's been interesting for the league.
And Ice Dogs were like the fourth best team in the league in the last 10 games.
Yeah.
Is that right, Tristan? Yeah.
They've been putting up really good sort of record over the last little bit. And look, it probably won't quieten down the calls of the conferences to be a bit more balanced either, to see that kind of strength over the last little bit. But I think
I'm sure Jason will
yeah, I see he's in the comments before. I'm sure we'll see something pop up shortly.
Yeah.
But look, if nothing else, it gives him momentum building into next year.
100%.
Yeah.
Ice Dogs are going on the rise.
You spent a bit of time training with the Ice Dogs, Nathan. Is there what have you kind of seen from the group there?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, since I first started training with them to now, I think the team's come a long way, just in regards to systems and how they play and their work ethic. I think Chiz and the coaching staff are doing a really good job with the group there. And, it is a bit unfortunate that they've kind of left this little run to the last couple of weekends of the season. But I mean, hopefully, like you guys have said, it just can build some momentum for next season.
And I wanted to ask you about Toolman. I think from watching him, to me, there's not too many players better than him at protecting the puck. What do you kind of see from him as well, like in training? Because he's a big body, but he handles the puck really well as well.
Yeah, no, he does. He skates pretty well for such a lanky, long dude as well. And like you said, he does protect the puck well, and he's got great vision. He's all, every time I go to a game, he's always a pleasure to watch, and you always get pretty excited when he has the puck. You always see like something's going to happen when he has it, and he's definitely an exciting player to watch this season. He always has been, and he will for a long time as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the Ice Dogs, he can qualify for PR at some point soon. He's been here for forever, and
I know
kind
he
of
has
bullshit
to.
that he still takes the input.
Hopefully he can. He can qualify for that PR, because it'll be nice for the Dogs to get him and not be an import, considering he has been here for a while.
We'll just catch up on some comments. Alita Teal, believe that's Alita Jackvitz. G'day. Says G, good evening to you. Jeffrey Allen Roth, Isle Thunder in finals. Yeah, baby. Yes, they are indeed. Great North Stars game. Yes, from Mark Hopwood. Here's one for you. Andrew John Egan Vikavice. Is that how you pronounce it, Nathan?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the old junior team. Good to see that there's still some supporters.
Andrew John Egan is all up to date with all the leagues in Europe. Brady Petrus, let's go Canberra. North Stars Rhinos, such a good game. Massive weekend of travel for the Dogs from Eric Brook. Adelaide on Saturday, home on Sunday. 6-point weekend. Yes. Last few penalties Mustangs got were a bit soft, helping them to tie up late. And Ice Dogs spoiling everyone's fun. Want to make the playoffs? Not via us. You don't. Yes, they have been very good. Always next year for Andrew John Egan. And Dogs are probably the most frustrating team with their lineup being so good but being so inconsistent. Is there a stats theory there, Tristan?
Well, good question, Paul. Honestly, I'd have to look at it a little bit deeper. But look, at times I think they've just run into teams that were a little bit better, and that's been their struggle for the year. At no point I don't think this year have the Ice Dogs been bad. They've certainly had bad patches of play, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, where they'd have 50 or 55 minutes of really good hockey. Exactly. And then they'd have 5 minutes in the second period, let 3 or 4 goals in. and that was all right.
Yep. Let's head to the scorers. Standing, and we've got the leaders there. Adam Cadlick still in the lead with 70 points. Austin Albrecht 60. Scotty Timmins 59. Francis Drolet 56. Lucas Herman 55. And Alex McDonald 7-point weekend. Thank you very much. 50 points for Alex McDonald. Scored a beauty of a hat trick as well. The other this weekend on Saturday in Adelaide. We do have some highlights.
I think it's the first time that Alex has reached the top 6 in the league this season, and it's the first Ice Dogs player to be up here too for quite a while. So,
yeah, I think Kuleshov was in the top 6 in the first week or two because he got off to a scorcher. I think he won 2 Skaters Network Player of the Week, local Player of the Week awards. Yeah, so he'll have a collection of Bauer sticks.
He was hot on the weekend too, so he might get himself another stick.
Yeah, he was quite good. Shall we watch some highlights? What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Abby has one highlight loaded up in the system. So we watch that one, Abby.
Mackenzie Bolger, who's now on the back check. Brisbane centering pass, scores! Batu Gendanov finally
no question on that one.
Breaks the seal. He tried to set some skates.
And as a goalie, that's such a hard thing to
unlucky
read.
For the Rhinos defenseman there on that one.
That change of angle, that close.
Such a good goal.
I tell you what, chatting to Batu Gendanov, I went to meet him at the hotel that they were staying in near Macquarie Ice Rink, and shaking his hand like just like swallowed up my hand whole. It's like this is a mountain of a man. But yeah, he's been such a good player for the Brisbane Lightning so far this season.
Oh, he's been
Yeah,
great.
I don't think
He's consistent too.
Yeah. I don't think it can be underestimated just how important to the Lightning he has been and the reason why they're still third in this league. Like, he has put on so many points and goals at the right time when they were crying out for someone to lead them in the point scoring. And yeah, he's just stepped up.
Yeah. And I think we've got an Ice Dogs highlight. Abby, I just saw a message she sent that she's got an Ice Dogs highlight queued up to go. So
along the half board, tip back towards the point, long shot through traffic, scores. Dalhusen through one.
So this is very simple power play. You get the puck deep. There's good net front presence. Sticks are there. I think it was McDonald who, and that's a tough distance when you're a little bit further away from the goal. When you get
good shot by Dalhusen. Good tip at the high slot from McDonald. Yeah, right place, right time. Is what's McDonald like to practice with, Nathan?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, to touch on what I said earlier, the work ethic of that team's pretty high, and he's pretty much leading the charge in that category, and obviously it's paying dividends for them, and especially after last week and having 7 points over the 2 games is a pretty outstanding thing to do. And to touch on that shot from the point, I think that's important for the D-man just to grab that, take a couple of steps in the middle of the ice, get it through that first defender, and kind of let your forwards get a tip on that. And if it's not in the back of the net from the tip or the shot, there should be a rebound line around, and you've got those 2 forwards inside the D-man there, so usually give yourself a good chance to bang home a rebound as well.
Yeah, perfect. And next one we've got is from the Newcastle versus Rhinos game.
On the attack, Matthews does a good job of clearing it out, finding Burno. Burno enters the zone, has no support. Now some support's coming. Firing in, trying to squeeze it through, and they did squeeze it through.
That was a dirty backdoor move there by Matthews. I think it was Matthews, was it? No.
Yeah, nice little goal. And Newcastle, man, the goal celebration stuff that they do is pretty cool as well, in the crowd and on the screen. Did you have a favorite rink to play in the AI, Nathan?
I only really played at Liverpool, to be honest. When I played, I only played a handful of games. But I don't think I played any away games. I think it was just at Liverpool. So never had a chance to actually play in any games around the league with the AIHL. Obviously played with them for the national team in the O'Brien, and then been up in Newcastle for Ginsberg and over to Adelaide and whatnot for DeFries and Tange. But in regards to the atmosphere during the AIHL, I've never had a chance to play in any rink besides Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, there's always time. There's always a chance.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Hopefully they're...
part of every hockey career should be playing in Canberra, right?
What's that?
Part of any good hockey career should be having to play at Phillip Ice Skating Centre in Canberra.
Oh, 100%. No, I totally agree with that. This is, I'd love to get all the rinks in at one point. But hopefully, by the time I'm playing the AHL, there's maybe some more rinks popped up and, some more stands and fans, and hopefully that's what's going to happen down the line.
Yes, less nets, more boards.
I'm just sort of dreading what the insurance premiums might be for you to skate at Phillip, mate. I think might be worth more than the rink itself.
Check those ticket sales up a little bit.
Yeah, feel free if you're in the chat, if you've got a question for Nathan. Nathan's also, he may not be able to answer all of them, but we can put some questions up for Nathan. But what's it like being back and being? I know we talked a little bit with you on the weekly wraparound show. You're now the ambassador for the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League, and you've been involved at like the Jamboree and the tournaments up at Newcastle. Does this off season feel different to you? Because it feels different kind of for us, seeing you kind of front and center a little bit, which has been excellent.
Yeah, it's been good. We've done a little bit of a media tour, I guess, if you will, kind of going to different cities and doing different things and running camps and Q&As and watching training sessions and everything like that. And it's been good, just trying to spread the word of hockey and spread my knowledge and wisdom of the game, and hopefully that can bring some more players to the beautiful game of hockey here in Australia.
And what's something that you maybe some wisdom that you do pass on that you maybe, I don't know, 13-year-old Nathan Walker would have loved to have known?
Honestly, anything. It could be anything from what I do outside the rink to try and get better, what I do inside the rink to try and get better, my diet, my lifestyle, kind of a little bit of everything. But I think the biggest thing that my 13-year-old self would have taken away from it is the wanting to get better at being a hockey player, not just doing it just because I wanted to do it. I really did want to do it, and it's something that I did want to pursue, and it was just something that I think if I could go back and tell myself, just keep having that want, and then I think eventually it's definitely going to pay off with the work ethic that's going to come with that.
Yeah, I think you definitely showcased that. I mean, going to the Czech Republic at such a young age, that's a huge commitment to that ultimate goal.
Yeah, and that I think touches back on the want factor. If I didn't want it as much, would I have gone to a country that doesn't speak English, eats different foods in the middle of Europe? There's no beaches. Probably not. I probably just stayed in Australia and played hockey here. But I think I wanted to kind of see what I had against kids my own age in a more hockey renowned country, and I think that just goes back to that want factor.
Did you find going to the Czech Republic was a good stepping stone for that hockey career?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you go from being on the ice here in Australia a couple hours a week to being on the ice an hour every single day over there, playing 20, 30 more games a season. That's I don't think you have to be a a rocket scientist to know that that's going to definitely help your game. And yeah, I think it definitely did. I mean, going over there at the age of 13 and then being over there for 6 years, being on the ice every day, was definitely a lot more ice time than I was going to get here in Australia.
At 13, Nathan, sort of to make that call was obviously a big call. And you've probably answered this plenty of times, but how do you have that conversation with your parents at 13 to say, look, mum and dad, I want to go the other side of the world? And
yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. I think they just kind of knew that I did want it so bad that I was, I was coming home every day from practice at 10 o'clock at night, and I wanted to go to the garage and shoot more pucks, and not go to school and shoot pucks and skate and do everything. And at some point they're like, we got to get him out of here. We got to go get him to somewhere where he can actually go skate every day and try and hone his skills, because it's tough here. The closest rink to us at that time was an hour away, and you only get an hour of ice a week. And I just wanted more ice time and be able to shoot more pucks and skate around a bit more. And I think it just kind of clicked for them as well that it was maybe time for me to go overseas and start playing over there.
Have you had any throughout your career kind of like pinch yourself kind of moments where it's like, this is actually happening? Like, has that happened or?
Yeah, there's been a couple. I think when I first made the pro team in Czech, and I was playing against men that, have been in the league for 15, 20 years or so, and you're 16, 17 playing against 40, 42, 43-year-olds, and there's ex-NHLers who have played over 500, 600 games. You're kind of like, holy, this is pretty sick. And then another one was when the lockout year happened, when we're playing in Czech, and you look out on the ice and you're playing against Plekanec and Yaga and Kabale and Zidlitsky, Hemsky, Krejci. You're looking at players like that, and you're 17 years old and you're thinking, wow, this is pretty sick. Obviously not the end goal. I want to play in the NHL and get over to North America, but still having that chance to play against guys like that. And then fast forward a couple of years, you're at training camp with Alex Ovechkin and Nicholas Backstrom and Braden Holtby, and that's definitely another pinch yourself moment. You get to pass those guys a puck during a practice, and then again you fast forward it and you're playing your first NHL game, and you kind of think to yourself, wow, this is definitely a pinch yourself moment. Am I in this dream, or is this real life? So that those few things I think were definitely pinch yourself moments for me.
And scoring too, for that matter.
What's that?
And scoring as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was definitely a pinch yourself moment too. No, for sure. For sure.
Did
sorry, Nathan. Have you ever had a drink that tastes any better than beer out of the Stanley Cup?
Nah, nothing is ever going to taste that good. I think being able to put your arms around that thing and have a beer with it is something pretty special for sure.
The phone call that you got from Malcolm Turnbull.
Yeah.
What was that like? Like, because I was getting, it was a bit of a funny phone call. To me it seemed, but how did it
was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Not just me. That's good. But what was it like? What was it like for you getting that call and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool, and nothing against him, but I doubt he knows a whole lot about hockey, and I mean maybe he does, and I'm not sure that he does, but no, it was definitely pretty surreal. I mean, to have the Prime Minister call you and say congrats and whatnot was pretty sweet. But it was a bit of a strange phone call. But I've had a lot of people message me and ask me questions about that one.
Okay, good. Glad we're not alone. This is one from Anthony Russell. I have to ask, as a Caps fan, being with Ovi, having won the Cup in Vegas, how many stories on that night can never see the light of day?
No, it was great. You win the Cup on the ice, and then you're in the locker room celebrating, and it was obviously so much fun to be a part of that. And I know I didn't have a huge helping hand in it, but just to be there for the whole ride and experience it was pretty amazing.
And we do have a question, Mark Hopwood. Nathan, what do you think the game in Australia needs to raise its profile and make players want to stay here, even if it's a wish list?
I mean, I've obviously had this question pop up a few times, and I think there is a few factors, and I'm sure if you ask anyone in Australia with hockey knowledge, they're probably going to say the same thing as well. But I think at the end of the day, you need more rinks. More rinks are going to bring in more eyes to come have a look at it, which will bring in more kids wanting to play, and then I think from there we'll definitely build the growth of the game in Australia, and then hence with the growth comes the quality, and then obviously with the quality comes the moving up the divisions and getting the Australian ice hockey name out there a little bit more than it already is.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at how successful that AIHL Global Series was in Melbourne last year, and then also Kerry Goulet's USA versus Canada series previously. Like, if there is good rinks there and a good event, people are going to come.
No, exactly right. And I think, I mean, we all know Australia is such a sporting nation. You look at all the rugby games, the AFL games, baseball for that matter. It's people in Australia want to see sports, and ice hockey it's a rough physical sport, and Aussies are pretty adapted to that. They like it. But like I said, we get facilities that can host 20,000 or so, and you bring some NHL games down here, they're going to sell out. And again, that will bring more eyes to the game, which will hopefully bring some more people skating and then more growth of it as well.
One of the things that I wanted to ask, like, it's at every stage of your career, like you've fought and you've earned your place. And I remember, I don't know if I misread this or something, but I remember something about last year during the 2022-23 season. I think I saw an article or something in The Athletic how the Blues GM was like, said to you, get a place in St. Louis or something, like you're staying up. And then you started off with the Springfield Thunderbirds, absolutely lit it up in the AIHL, and then earned a call up again. How do you kind of deal with that, with having to prove yourself all the time?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of status quo. I mean, I've never really been handed anything on a silver platter in my life. It's if you want something, you got to go out and earn it and do it the right way. And just work. I think if you have that work ethic and you're willing to put in that 100% work ethic every day, it's going to get noticed. Whether you're making mistakes or not, I think people appreciate how hard you do work, and whether you make a mistake, it's people can live with you making a mistake, working hard. But if you don't really give a shit, and you make a mistake, people tend to get pissed off with that kind of stuff and that kind of mentality.
Well, hopefully it's the kind of mentality that can see US coaches start to believe that other Australians can also be able to produce this for them as well, and open up a few more pathways for Aussie players in the future.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And like I said before, training with the Ice Dogs, you can see the Aussie players coming through. They've definitely got a lot of skill, and it'd be good to see, obviously some more Aussies playing over in North America in the pro leagues, and definitely over in Europe as well.
On that point, Nathan, while you've been back, I assume you've had a chance to train a little bit with Cale Costa while he was back, following a not too different path to you, maybe a little bit later in life, but heading over to Czech as well. What do you think sort of the future holds for Cale?
Yeah, he's a great player. He's got a great shot. He's fast. He's smart. I didn't have the chance to skate with him a whole bunch while I was here. That was actually kind of during the month when I was going off to Melbourne and Adelaide and all those other fun cities. But from what I did see, he's a great player, and he's excited about this season. And I wish nothing but the best for Cale, and hopefully hopefully he can make that transition over to North America soon, and try get a deal over there.
It'd be great.
Yeah. We do have a question here in the chat. Nathan, I've been watching your games as a Leaf fan since 2018. That's Chris, the PD Swedish Hockey Talk. How does it feel to be the first Australian Stanley Cup champion? We'll be watching your games again.
Yeah, no, it was obviously, you ask any hockey player how that feels. It's a pretty special moment. But I think obviously I was just very proud for not only myself but my family, kind of what we went through and what we've been through over the last 15 years or so. One of the goals as a hockey player is to definitely play your first NHL game, play a season, play 100 games, score a first goal, and then obviously you got win the Stanley Cup in there and be able to give it a big old kiss over your head. So that was being able to tick that one off the goals list was definitely something that I was pretty proud of, and hopefully there's a couple more of them in the career.
One of the things too that I noticed was that the Springfield Thunderbirds and the St. Louis Blues socials people really involved you a lot, which we loved. We're like, there's Stormy, there's Nathan. Is that just our perception where we're using like our observational bias and projecting you in 500 different places at once, or what was the story there?
No, every time I've been on the media team and I have gotten along pretty well. I'm a pretty open book, so I kind of say how it is, and I think they kind of appreciate it. I can give them a couple of chuckles here and there, and sometimes they'll have me. For example, we had haircut day the one year, and I was walking around interviewing guys about their haircuts. And the other day we did a Tim Tam challenge, so I'd hand out these Tim Tams, and guys would try them out and give me a score out of 10. And it's kind of nice. I can kind of go to my teammates with a camera and a mic, and they kind of know that something funny is going to be up. So I think the media team and I have always kind of gotten along.
Yeah, it's always good to have a good media team.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We do have an interesting question here, Jordan Bischoff. Nathan, other than winning the Stanley Cup, do you have any other memorable moments within the NHL?
Yeah, I mean, obviously playing your first game with your family in the stands is definitely another one of those goals that you like to tick off your goals list. And I just think, honestly, every day being an NHL player is pretty memorable for myself. Like I've said before, I've worked pretty hard, and my family's been there supporting me the whole time. And being able to say you're an NHL player and you play in the NHL is a pretty memorable thing for me.
It must be hard though, not always having everything, I guess, so certain in your own hands, especially in the NHL and American sports in general, being able to just be sent somewhere else. And you don't really have much of a say in what happens. I imagine that would be a hard situation to deal with.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, when you have two kids, it makes things a little bit harder. And St. Louis and Springfield not being the closest of cities to kind of travel back and forth to. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you just go into work every day and work hard. And if you're there for 2 weeks, you're there for 2 weeks. If you're not, it is what it is. As long as you can go home, look yourself in the mirror and say that you did what you can, and kind of move on from there. I think it's a lot easier to sleep at night. And like I said, I've got such a great support system, whether it be here in Australia, but obviously my wife and kids, they support me to the ultimate max. And like I just said before, if you can go home, look at yourself in the mirror and said you did what you can, and I think that definitely resonates a lot with my family and I.
Yeah.
On that a little bit, you talked a little bit about the travel side of things. I'm guessing the NHL is a little more comfortable, but you've spent quite a few years in the minors with Hershey, Carolina, Springfield, and that. How brutal is the travel down there?
It's not too bad. Yeah, you're on a bus for 5-6 hours, but again, you're with your buddies. You're playing cards in the back. You're just shooting the shit with them for 6 hours. Some of your best buddies that you've got lifelong friendships with, and I mean some of the best moments and the best stories get told on the back of the bus. So it's fun times, and obviously if you're in the NHL, you're on a bus for 20 minutes driving to the airport and then getting on your plane, and having your nice meals on the plane and then getting home. But no, it's good. I think playing the NHL is a lot of fun, and I've had some of the best years of my life, and obviously have some lifelong friends from the AHL as well.
One thing that I wanted to ask, the hit that you did earlier this season on Ryan Reeves, that kind of went semi viral because anything against the Leafs is funny, but Ryan Reeves getting bodied by you was pretty special. What was kind of your take on that?
I just tried to track him back to my end, and thought I had a good chance to kind of knock him off the puck and throw a check. And I think I might have caught him a little bit by surprise. But he's a very honest player, and if he gets knocked over, he's not gonna do anything or come after you. He respects the game, and he's a great guy as well. And he was fine with it, which was good, because that would have been a tough one to try and swallow if he was coming after me.
Did he make any comment to you after that, or?
No, there was a bit of a scrum and just came in, good hit, buddy, and then that was it. There's no reason for us to talk about it ever again. It's just part of the game, and off we go, just finishing off the rest of the game.
That's what I love about hockey players, right? Like, everything just happens on the ice, typically stays on the ice, and that's it.
Exactly right. Yeah, very honest guys. You play the game, and that's kind of it. You don't want to take the game outside of the rink. It is what it is. That's how I kind of approach it, and I think that's probably pretty much how 99% of the players in the world do.
Yeah. And what's kind of your expectations for this season, or is there like an aspect of your game that you're working on, or is it just a matter of getting to training camp and finding out what expectations are?
Yeah, I think obviously we've missed out on playoffs the last couple of years, so I think we definitely want to get back in that race and get back in the hunt. And personally, I'm always trying to get better and do everything with a purpose. Whether I'm skating with the Dogs, I do want to get better, and I'm skating out there, to get better. And I'm not just kind of going out there going through the motions. There's always things that I'm trying to work on and do, with a purpose to try and help me get better and translate to my game.
I think all of Australia would want the Blues to make finals.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That would be that'd be good, and hopefully we can get 30 million new fans, which would be nice.
Well, I reckon if they bring back the NHL Global Series to Australia, surely they bring the Blues.
You would think so, yeah. No, hopefully they can bring us. That'd be pretty sick for sure.
Yeah, and you've got your own.
There's an empty slot there. There's an empty slot there on the Global Series. It's not like the Coyotes will be coming back.
Yeah, seriously. That's right. Yeah, no, for sure. So hopefully, fingers crossed that that'll be pretty special to come out and play in front of the home crowd for sure.
And I believe you have your own clothing line, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I think Sean, you mentioned that Nathan had also donated money from the sales for the Cure Cancer AU cause that the Sydney Ice Dogs ran. What can you tell us a little bit about your clothing line, where people can find it?
Yeah, we just started it during that crazy time of COVID. We just thought my wife and I would give it a crack of doing a clothing line, and in regards to the cancer hats, we made up a few cancer hats, and unfortunately we didn't have the time last year to get to that cancer game, but this year it kind of lined up nicely, so we took a bunch of hats, and they sold pretty well, which was good. Everyone kind of getting in the spirit of that, and we just have a website. It's kind of on my Instagram page, and you can just go on that website and order from there. And we do need to do a restock soon, as we've kind of sold out of a lot of things. But people who have ordered the clothes said they love it, and it could be something that we continue to do in the future.
I think, Nathan, you need a collab with the Ice Dogs or something coming up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we say it every year, and then kind of comes to September and I head back, and then we talk about it during the season, and then come back, and just kind of been a never-ending thing. So I think one day I'm just gonna have to take stuff and just kind of do it.
Yeah, take it into your own hands.
Yeah.
Well, while we're just here, just before we wrap things up, we really want to do a shout out to Skaters Network and Bauer for helping set this up with Nathan. Sean Sonter has been amazing with that and organizing it. So we really appreciate that. Having the St. Louis Blues' Bill Masterton Trophy nominee, Nathan. Tell us about that, how that kind of happened, being nominated for the award, and what that kind of meant to you as well.
Yeah, it was obviously great. I mean, I didn't really know much about it or that I was even up for nomination. But yeah, no, obviously the hard work that I've kind of put in over my career, going up and down, and coming back up this year to be nominated was something pretty special. And it was just my agent who kind of texted me and told me about it. But other than that, I wasn't really too much in the know with it all.
Yeah, because it's the writers, the St. Louis Blues writers, right, that make the nomination. Is that correct?
Yeah, from what I believe, yeah, it is.
Yeah, and we've just had the AIHL announce their player awards for 2024, which will be announced at finals. So we're going to get some content out around that. Keep an eye out on our socials. Any final questions for Nathan? We've got a question here. Here we are from Random Aussie. Can I get your thoughts on Carrick and Riley signing with the Rangers? And Nathan, I was at your game in USA when you scored your hattie. So thanks for that, Random Aussie. Connor Carrick was a good dude with the Leafs. I will give him that, and I think he did a podcast for a little while, which was kind of neat. I don't know where his game is at, but congrats to him for signing with the Rangers. And Random Aussie also has the suggestion of LA Kings versus St. Louis Blues Global Series Australia. Do you have a chat with Jordan Spence, like about the fact that Jordan Spence is the first Aussie-born player? I know he doesn't necessarily perhaps see himself as Australian, but have you ever had a conversation with him about that, Nathan?
No, just when he played his first game, I reached out to him just to say congrats and stuff like that. But other than that, I haven't really spent much time with him, to be honest.
Yeah, different teams.
Yeah.
So Nathan, do you ever see yourself playing for the national team again?
Yeah, I mean, if the stars align, obviously while I'm in North America, playoffs is number one for me. I want to play in the playoffs. I want to win, and but yeah, no, if it somehow happens and I'm available for it, then yeah, no, for sure, that would be that definitely something I'd be interested in.
Nice.
Yeah. Any final questions, Tristan?
Maybe just a little one, Nathan. I think, and my research might be a bit slack, but did you play with Austin Cangelosi at Youngstown way back in the day?
I did, yes. Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
I did see his name pop up. I haven't reached out to him, which is probably pretty bad on my part. He is all the way in Canberra, so being from the Shire, I'd probably have to take my passport with me and get it stamped heading down there. But
they've got a wall built there in Goulburn.
What's that, sorry?
There's a wall built in Goulburn just to keep people from the Shire out.
Yeah. Well, if I have to cross the bridge leaving the Shire, it's probably bad news. So, but no, I haven't reached out to him. That's pretty slack on my part. But yeah, no, we did play together, and I hear he's doing pretty well from what I've seen as well.
We do have Ben Armstrong, who does excellent work with the AIHL. Do you feel the NHL missed an opportunity by not bringing St. Louis out for the Global Series? Were you a bit disappointed, Nathan, when you found out St. Louis wasn't one of the teams that was going to be coming? Or
I mean, yeah, obviously being an Aussie, having games in Australia would have been nice to come and play. But for myself, I mean, I think there was more things at work, and I'm just happy to be at training camp when I was, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, maybe they went through the media thing and saw that more fans are from LA, and Arizona. It just kind of worked out to be that way. So, but yeah, no. Hopefully one day it'd be cool to play an Australian game here.
And Lucas Saraceni from Perth, what's your favorite thing about St. Louis?
I think there's a few really good restaurants that my wife and I enjoy going to, and the suburb that we live in, the people are nice. I think there's definitely a lot to like about St. Louis.
Beautiful. Well, that's I think all the questions. I hope we've covered everyone's questions there. Just before we go into the next week's preview, just acknowledging our sponsor TTC as well, that have come on board to help with. They are concerned with software and accessibility. So they work with companies to ensure software meets your customers' needs and is ready for the real world. If you want to reach out to them via email, australia@ttcglobal.com, use the code HHA2024 and get on the power play with TTC Global today. They test so that you can sit back and enjoy the hockey. So they'll give you everything you need to know there. But let's move into weekend preview. So we've got a huge weekend. The Bears travel to Perth to take on the Thunder, both Saturday and Sunday. The Adelaide travel to Boondall to take on the Lightning, both Saturday and Sunday. The Ice Dogs do the Melbourne trip, taking on Mustangs on Saturday, the Ice on Sunday. And then the Rhinos take on the Brave before hosting the North Stars on Sunday. Nathan, if you were to pick out one game from there to watch, what are you picking?
Oh, I mean, there's definitely some good matchups. I think that Bears Perth Thunder will be a good game. The Adrenaline Lightning. I think the Brisbane team need to win in order to make playoffs. So that'll obviously be a big game. Same with Adelaide too. So that's I think that's definitely a big game to watch as the Adrenaline need to win out, and they're playing a team that's just above them. So that's I think that one should be marked down on a lot of people's calendars.
Tristan, what are you watching, mate?
Yeah, I think Nathan's nailed it. The Adelaide Brisbane series is where the most interesting sort of story for the weekend is. They're competing for the last live final spot, so it's all on the line. So I expect to see pretty tight games and probably pretty low scoring, but be lots of tension, lots of good hockey in those games.
And Sean, what are you watching?
Yeah, I'll be attending the game in Canberra with the Rhinos, so I'll be hoping for a good one there. And yeah, I agree with everyone. I think the Adelaide-Brisbane games are going to be massive. If Adelaide manage to get the win on Saturday, watch out for a blockbuster on Sunday. And yeah, the sort of top of the table there with the Bears and Perth. It'd be interesting to see how the Bears go with a big travel because they've played a lot of home games recently. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they fare, and I'm sure the Ice will be trying to get the win over the Ice Dogs to try and secure that second spot in Hellier.
Yeah, the Lightning just need 3 points this weekend, and then they can clinch a final spot over the Adrenaline. And Julie Sugden from Brisbane, it's been a sellout for weeks, that Brisbane Lightning Adelaide Adrenaline game. So that's good news. And yeah, I agree that Adelaide Brisbane Lightning series is going to be pretty pivotal. We've got 5 playoff places already sealed. One that could be sealed this weekend, the 6th and final one. So yeah, a bit of a no-brainer there.
But Julie says that Brisbane's been a sellout for a while. I'm sure if they had a rink 3 times the size, it would also be a sellout by now as well.
Yeah. We do have the guy who recently signed a 6-year extension, I think 6 years extension, Buchnevich. Hugh Whittle asking, Nathan, does Buchnevich smile?
He probably smiled after he signed that extension. No, he does. He's actually a really good dude. He's a great teammate. No, he does put a smile on, but he's also very serious as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, once again, we would like to thank Skaters Network and Bauer and Nathan Walker for coming on our show. Thank you very much for your help, Sean Sonta, as well, and putting it all together. Thanks for coming on, Nathan. It's been an absolute blast. We wish you all the best for the rest of your time here. Hopefully you get to watch some hockey and enjoy some golf, and hopefully get that score into the 70s.
I need to crack the 70s before I head back. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah. But yes, we are Hockey Night in Australia, part of the Hockey Hype Australia podcast network. You can find us at www.hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au. Give us a follow on socials at Hockey Hype AUS. You can watch a replay of this on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn even, and you can listen to us via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for everyone in the comments as well. And we will see you next time. Enjoy the hockey.
Sounds good. See you guys. Thanks.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you